Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and for everybody who is new, I'm Leorah and I'm so glad you found me. So welcome to today's video, which is all about this one. And I've been talking about this in several videos already because I was wearing a look that I did with this palette and that was special. Why? Because it's a neutral palette, which is actually quite rare on my channel. So this palette I got gifted by Christine. Sweeties, Christine is a huge supporter of my channel and a personal friend and my subscriber and all kinds of things. So she's super amazing in giving me the chance to try new things, you know? And this is from XO Beauty, the Native palette. XO Beauty is a brand based in New Zealand, which is absolutely amazing. It's the first time I'm trying something from New Zealand. And yeah, so this is how it looks. I'm not going to bring it up close to the camera because I think my colors are getting washed out when I'm trying to put something too close to the camera because we're still trying to figure out the settings here. All right, so let me just get this a little bit closer so you can see, of course, this is a very neutral palette. I hope the colors show up somewhat. Anyway, this is how she looks, and I got this from Christine, and I'm super excited that I can show you now what I've been doing with the palette. So first of all, let's maybe go into the two looks that I've done already with the palette, and today we are of course going to create the third one. Okay, I'm going to put the two looks right on top of me right now. In the first look I had browns in my crease and then a taupey shimmer on my lid, which is like super classy, and it was really pretty. And in the second look I used the gold, which by the way was phenomenal. And yeah, of course you can see that this was also a very classy look, because I think what you can do with this palette is classy, beautiful, gentle looks, you know, like really sweet. So anyway, what are we gonna do today? Today I want to actually go into these two greens. These are of course like subdued, kind of a bit, I don't know, murky greens. Sounds like a disease, but it's not. They look absolutely stunning. And I also want to use things that I've not used. This one I have not used yet. I think other than that I've used everything. So definitely I'm going to also use this one. I kind of also feel like I want to go into this one again. This here is a beautiful duochrome shade, really pretty. So we shall try and we shall see. I have been asked not to speed up my looks anymore, and I thought, sweeties, I thought that it's boring for you when I'm just sitting here and applying makeup. That's why I always sped up my looks to make my videos shorter. But you've said that you would really appreciate it if I wouldn't do that. So yeah, so let's do it in sort of real time. It's not going to be real time because I'm trying to, you know, keep them at a normal length, because if I don't edit out, sweeties, you will have like 40-50 minute long videos, and you don't want that. Believe me, you don't. But anyway, I'm not going to speed it up, and that's what we're doing here. Okay, so let me just zoom in and then we're gonna go right into it. Okay, sweeties, let's go in with the shade. Now, the shade name, sweeties, that is some New Zealand words. Sweeties, I don't know. Let me just see. Weka. I think Weka, I have no idea what any of this means. Well, I don't know. Falcon. Falcon and Kiwi, that sounds like I would know what that is. But Ruru, for example, and Peka Peka, and things like this, I have no idea. Maybe I should mention that this palette is inspired by the flora and fauna of New Zealand, I think. I think that's the idea behind it. And yeah, so that's why the names. Alright, so let's go in with the shade Weka. Alright, yeah, let's just put that at the inner part of my crease. And then I want to go into the greens. So let's just see how this one works. Okay, so this is that shade, and I think now I'm gonna go and just use a fluffy blending brush. You know what, sweeties, I cannot even tell you always like what brush sets I'm using, because most of my brushes are no-name brushes, and this here is from AOA and it's the E141, but I don't know if anyone cares really. It's just like a fluffy blending brush, you know? So anyway, I'm gonna go into this green matte here, and this is the shade Tuatara. Sweeties, that is, it must be birds or plants, something like that. Yeah, so I'm just going to sort of do like circular motions, and I think you can see that this is a cool, like a special shade of green. It's kind of like, yeah, kind of muddy, you know? Okay, sweeties, this is how it looks now. I just took the chance to just do the other eye too. And I think I really like it that it is just such an earthy look with all these, it's just such earthy colors in this palette, and there is something really special about this. Okay, so let's maybe just go in with the shimmery shades, and I think I wanna, what do I wanna do? I so badly wanna use the gold again. Okay, so you know what? I'm gonna go for the gold instead of this one. Maybe I can use that as a shimmer in my face, as a highlighter. We shall see. Or maybe under my eye. But I just need to have that gold on my lid. I'm sorry. So that is the shade, wait, Kovai, I think. Alright, this gold, sweeties, is probably the best gold in my collection, I have to say. I'm going to spray it because I do feel that these shades perform better when they are sprayed, which probably all do, but anyway, sometimes I don't, sometimes I do. But in the first look I didn't spray it, and I felt like, you know, they're better when they are sprayed. And I think you can see what I mean. This is like someone poured liquid gold over me, you know? This is so pretty. Anyway, I think I'm going to just mirror, space-wise, I'm going to just mirror what I did above my crease, you know, with the other two colors. And now I want to go into that green. That's so exciting. Green, sweeties. I get goosebumps about greens. Kia, I think that is the shade. So let's just pick this one up. Maybe I should also just spray it from the get-go, because why not? Alright, so anyway, I'm just using my setting spray here, in case you were wondering. And now let's just, yeah. Really pretty. I'm going to leave some space here, because I want to maybe put this dark brown, I'm going to show you in a second, in the outer corner to just deepen up the look a tiny little bit. But yeah, this is cool. This is really pretty. Okay, so for the outer corner, I think I'm going to just use this one. This is the darkest shade in the palette. This is a cool toned, like really cool toned brown, which is the shade Falcon. And I'm going to just take a fluffy kind of a shader brush. I don't know. Yeah, and then I'm just going to sort of push that in here. Okay, don't worry, I'm still going to blend, okay? Alright, now I'm just going to go, I think, with my finger into the gold. Just dab it on a tiny little bit more, and then also, of course, into that green shade. So we're not losing it. Oh, this is so, like, greens and golds, so pretty together. And I feel like I want to have just a black liner, and also on my waterline under my eye I want to have a black, I think. I want it to be like really, I don't know, defined like this. Because I think with the first two looks that I did, I had a very open eye, because I kept my under eye area super light, also with like light liners, and also the other colors I kept super light. So I would like to, I think, just, you know, take this look to a different place. Yeah. Okay, let me just also blend this again a little bit. And I think that is going to be the look. Does that look like New Zealand? I've not been there. I don't know. My niece was there in, I think, 2019. And she loved it, and she sent me pictures, and they traveled around and backpacked and stuff. While I'm not really the backpack kind of a vacation girl at all. But she is, and she enjoyed it so much, you know, and the pictures that I've seen, Alright, so anyway, this is about the look. Now I'm just gonna go do the other side and finish up my face, and then we're gonna come back for the under eye area. Okay, sweeties, here we are back, and this is already looking so good, like really good. Okay, so now I have done part of my face. I still have no highlighter on, and I figured that we should just use this one shade that I've pointed out before, this one here, which is like a champagne-y kind of a shade, for highlighter, and see how that works. This is the shade Pick Up, wait, it's reflecting kind of, you know, it's a bit hard to read. Pick Up. Okay, so that is the one. I'm going to use a brush like this for the highlighter, and let's just see what that does. It's kind of really my skin tone, you know? It's really nice. And I actually really like to do that when I have palettes where I have shades like this, to actually use it as a highlighter. And maybe, I hope you can see that this is really pretty. I also sometimes just go in like this instead of like this, and go in like a little swirling motions to like back it up a little bit more. But this is basically what it looks like, and I think it really does the job, you know? It's really pretty. So let's do the other side real quick, and then we need a plan for the under eye area. Alright, I had told you already before that I want this to be black, you know, the eyeliner on both sides. I want it to be black, I want it to be dark and sort of like really defined, so I hope I achieved that already. And then what else are we gonna do? I think I might use this duochrome shade as an inner corner highlight, and maybe just sort of use the gold and the green shimmer again. Maybe let's just do that and see what happens. Okay, I'm going to again spray them because I want to. I just feel that they are so good when they're sprayed. Also, I feel that there's less fallout, you know, because now my face is done, and I need to be like really careful when it comes to fallout now. Okay, and this is now on a set surface. Okay, so I'm trying to sort of just smooth it out because I don't want to have just a streak here. I want this to be flowing out. Okay, so why did I start with this eye? Usually I'll start with this eye. Doesn't matter. Okay, so now I'm going to go into the green. I'm going to spray that too. Like this. I think maybe it would be nice if I were to just sort of drag the gold on the lower edge here a little bit over there. Let's just do that. Or, you know what? Let's use the duochrome shade for that. Backtrack. Okay, let's use the duochrome shade in the inner corner and also to blend out this green shade. Now let me just build this green shade up a tiny little bit more. I really should use a different brush, but I don't have one. Alright, so anyway, let's maybe use a brush like this. This one is from Sigma. This, I can tell you what that is. That's the E42, and I'm going to go into this duochrome shade right here, which is called, it's called Kakapo. I don't know how to where the emphasis is, but it's Kakapo, I think. Okay, so let's just put that here to blend out the look. Oh, I think this adds a really nice, I don't know, something to it. And then I'm going to use that same shade with a different brush though in the inner corner. Okay, another brush. Let's pick up that shade and also spray the brush. And we're going to put that here. Maybe a little bit more. Something like that. Okay, I'm really excited about doing the swatches now because that could be interesting. I'm really excited to see how to perform during the swatches. Okay, anyway, I'm going to finish this, and in a second you're going to see the swatch video, and then I'm going to, of course, give you my full honest opinion about the palette, and I'm going to be back with the finished look, including the finished styling. So that is all coming up. So in just a second, I'll be right back. Okay, sweeties, here we are with the finished look and the finished styling, lashes on, everything on, and I'm so thrilled. Sweeties, this palette is so much more than you think. It's so much more than you think. Okay, you just saw the swatches and I have to give you a bit of an explanation because there are two topper shades. They are, of course, shimmery, but they are, you know, they swatch thinner. So that's why, because they're topper shades, that's why they don't show up so much, and I just want to point them out to you because maybe you didn't see them so much. Okay, so first of all, it's this one. I also will show you, of course, in the palette. It's the lowest one right here, and then there is this one, which is the duochrome shade. You can see how foiled they are though, and how pretty they are, like really, really pretty. Okay, so let's look, of course, at the palette again. We have 12 shades here, and the two shades that I just pointed out to you are these two. This one is the golden finish topper shade, sort of, and this one is that duochrome shade. Anyway, the other shimmer shades are super opaque, super foiled, super nice, though I would say I would suggest use them with a wet brush, because if not, in the first look that I already mentioned, I did not use them with a wet brush, and there was some kind of like this fine fallout, you know. It was like glitter everywhere, and that was it's not glitter, but you know, like tiny little fragments of the shimmery shades, and you can totally avoid that by wetting your brush, and then there's nothing, you know. So also probably you saw today when I put on the shimmers, there was no fallout at all because I had wet my brush. Anyway, this is how it looks. The mattes are really nice and buildable. I would say formula wise, I've been breaking my head how to compare it, with what formula, with which brand to compare it. I cannot really come up with something. I would say the shimmers are really like Juvia's Place, super nice shimmer formula. Topper shades, I have not so much of an experience with topper shades as of yet, so I cannot really tell you what it compares to, but it feels really good. They feel super smooth, super opaque, and of course you saw how foiled they are. So that is that. Unfortunately, I cannot compare it much to something else. Okay, also the mattes, I don't know where to put them yet because I have limited experience with all the brands that are out there, of course. So, but it is a good formula. I would say it is maybe not the super most pigmented formula, but sweeties, before you say, well, I'm not interested, no, sweeties, don't get this wrong, because if you have a buildable formula that has a good pigmentation, not saying that there's anything wrong with this, okay, it has a good pigmentation and it is super buildable, which you probably also saw when I, especially for example, when I put on that green matte in the crease and above, it is super buildable, and that is all you need. It is much less scary to work with shades like this than if you have something that is going on like a bomb, you know, and it looks like, I don't know, something hit you, but you will not be able to blend it out because it is so pigmented, you know. So it is very good quality, it is pigmented, but I would say it is not this super scary pigmented formula that is really hard to work with. Okay, so that is what I wanted to say. Also the blendability, I think you can see that it's very good. For example, this green shade I blended out with no help. There is no other transition shade or anything, and I think it blended out super well, sort of shearing it out, you know, which I did of course on purpose, and I think it looks super pretty. So that is that. And of course also the color scheme of the palette lends itself to blending those shades into each other because it's like all natural shades, you know, so that just makes also working with it much easier. I want to say something about this shade. This is probably the most beautiful gold shade that I have in my collection. It is so gorgeous. I'm just, you know what, I don't know if the swatches are really showing how beautiful this is, so that's why I just wanted to show you. It's just, you know, I'm so excited about this. This is such a beautiful golden shade, and it looks like someone melted gold and poured it over my finger, like really, you know. And I also wanted to show you those two topper shades because when I swatch them on my finger, they actually show up much more. So this is that golden finish topper shade. I hope the camera is gonna pick it up. A really pretty shade. And then that duochrome shade, I'm also going to swatch this on my finger here. It's here on my ring finger, this one, okay? So I think you can see it much better in this case. All right, so anyway, now that I sort of, ew, what did I have here? Sorry, I still had some lipstick here on my hand. I don't know how that even got there. So that is that. Here you have the finger swatches, and I think they are just so pretty. Like really, you know, huge fan, huge fan. Though I have to say, and that is what regularly happens here with me, is after the first look, I was a little bit iffy. I was like, am I gonna like this? Am I not? You know? But that is why I'm not so good at first impressions, because unless I'm pretty certain that I'm going to like this, or I know the brand already. Like for example, if I do a first impression on a Colourpop palette, I already know that I can rock the Colourpop formula, you know? So that's why for me it's pretty safe to do a first impression video on a Colourpop palette. But for a new brand, I kind of try to stay away from that, because first of all, I want to give that new brand a chance, and also just to give you more information, because what can you do with one look, right? So that is that. And I feel now with the 3 looks that I did, of course there is so much more in this palette, but I feel with the 3 looks that I did, I got so much variety out of this palette, and I think this palette really rocks now, you know, like really. Also this shade, which is like, I would say it's like a hybrid between a taupe and a silver. It's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Like I love shades like this, you know, cold neutrals, sign me up, sweetie, like really. This has been a success story, and if you are into neutral palettes, you might definitely want to check that out. Also, XO Beauty has different palettes. I think they also have like what was it now? Was it a candy themed or something? Hugs and Kisses, or what was it called? I don't remember anymore. You'll find it on her website, and of course it's going to be linked in the description box. It is, I think it's like rosy kind of a color scheme, which was also super lovely. So, and she has all kinds of other stuff also. So feel free to check out this brand. This was really good, and it's absolutely Leorah approved. I really liked it. There were no dots in the palette. I mean, you have to know if you have topper shades that they will not perform like those super foiled shimmer shades that you have here. You know, you have to know that, otherwise you'll be disappointed. But if you know that, then you know what you have, and you know what you get, and you know how to handle it, right? So there were no dots. Blendability was there, as I already said. Buildability, absolutely. Then there was, of course, no staining, there was no fading, there was no creasing. Everything was sitting super beautifully on my eyes for like hours and hours and hours. And yeah, and that is it, you know, like really. Okay, cardboard packaging, super beautiful, well done with the theme of the palette. And then in the inside you have, of course, a mirror, and then you have the shade names that are also on theme with the palette, the whole thing. And in the back you do not have ingredients. I think they were on the sleeve, but I don't have that anymore. So yeah. Anyway, that is that. This is the Native palette from XO Beauty. I really enjoyed it, and it was such a surprise because, you know, it's a neutral palette. Like, who am I, right? I have nothing against neutrals, sweeties. I don't want to do it all the time, seriously. And now also I'm looking forward to doing more colorful looks again. But have I enjoyed this? Yes, absolutely. And I loved it every single time I was on camera. I was actually wearing every single look that I did with this palette. I was wearing them in different videos, you know? So I enjoyed being on camera with this. I enjoyed to be seen in the outside world like this, because this is safety for me. It's safety. It's a good thing, you know? It's a good thing. Yeah. So anyway, this is it. I don't want to drag this out, but I really enjoyed this, and yes, absolutely approved by me. Okay, sweeties, before we finish up this video, let me just zoom you in so you get a bit of a closer look. And this is, of course, the look that you saw me creating, and I am super thrilled with the outcome, because like really there is absolutely nothing wrong, you know? I love this. I love how it looks. Okay, so let's zoom back out, and that is all I had to give for today. So I hope you did enjoy. Of course, if you're new here, I would love it if you were to subscribe to my channel. There is absolutely more room in my kingdom for everybody who wants to join. And besides that, of course, you will find XO Beauty linked in the description box. Also, of course, everything else that I have used in my face today, you will find there, as well as my discount codes with different brands, and also my social media contacts. And of course, if you want to, you can leave me your comments in the the comment section down below. Besides that, I'm going to definitely see you here for my next video, and up until then, definitely go ahead and sparkle. Hugs and kisses. Bye.